been thinking over the last week that I posted my last video, and there's some, not new information, but there's some interesting information going around that I figured I'd bring to your attention. One, as I've said, I'm convinced that Diddy did away with Kim Porter because she was standing in the way of him grooming his children the way he needed to groom his children for the uppers, the up highers, the as I like to call them, the from what I've researched, when he had the funeral, and I guess the week before the funeral, he had her in I don't know if it was a 14 karat or a 24 karat gold casket. And when it was in the funeral home, he had 24-hour security at all times, so that nobody would get near the casket. Now, I understand, being weary, because she was so close to him, and maybe people would want to take a peek, or, somebody might end up snapping pictures from the funeral home. I mean, there's a whole bunch of stuff that can happen overnight, and even in the daytime when the body's in the funeral home. It's just the way it is. If people are offered enough money, they're going to take that chance and snap a picture. Now, from what I researched, she had a closed casket that nobody got to see her in the casket at all, except for him. I'm not even sure the kids got to see her, one last time. And I find that kind of odd, because if you die of pneumonia, I mean, it's not like your body is going to be riddled with scars, or you're going to be disfigured, or you're going to be in a state where the embalmer and the makeup artist isn't going to be able to get you to look like yourself. He probably had pretty much the best on, and so I wouldn't even think that would be a reason why he wouldn't allow anyone to see her. My thoughts on the 24-hour security and the fact that he didn't want anybody near the casket is because obviously something was off. I mean, he made it so obvious that something was off by doing that. And it makes me wonder, again, what did he do to her? Or what did he have done to her where, he had to have her watch 24/7 and wouldn't let anybody go near it? Nobody even, I don't even think anybody touched it. It was it was like a thing. You just couldn't go near it for whatever reasons. And the 24-hour security makes me wonder even more, because it's wait a minute. Why wouldn't somebody be able to open the coffin? What was in there, or what was wrong with her, or was she even in that coffin? See, now, that's when my brain starts to go on another level, because how the hell do I know if she was in there or not if there's no evidence that she was, right? So could that have been it? Could her body have been moved to one of his secret underground tunnels, her real casket? Maybe that was just for show. Who knows? But when I hear that, that's the first thing that pops into my mind. Either she wasn't in that casket at all, and he had her brought somewhere else before the wake and the viewing or whatever the hell happened. And obviously, if somebody opened it and she wasn't in there, there would have been 20,000 million questions, and that would have just opened up a can of worms. So, I'm assuming either something he did or had done to her would be obvious if people seen her, or she wasn't in there at all. Those are the only two theories I could come up with why you would not want anyone around the coffin, and you would be that, like, crazy over it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I've seen people who love each other bury each other, and, like, I've never seen nothing like that. Again, we know that Puffy's over the top. We know that he's nuts. But, I mean, come on. You know what I mean? Her family, her kids, her close friends. Like, did anybody see her in the coffin? I don't know. But when I read about the security and how he wasn't letting anybody near it, and that's a red flag for me. Sorry. Then, now I'm hearing that she was into women herself, and would initiate sex with other women, just like Diddy was having sex with other women, other men, God knows who else, and this was her thing. Now, apparently there's videotape of her with Beyonce, there's videotape with her with many different artists at their freak-off parties, and I just feel like if she was into women or she was bisexual, I mean, what is the big deal? Why hide something like that? It's not even necessary in this day and age. And even with him, if he's bisexual or if he's gay, who fucking cares? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, maybe in the early 90s it would have been an issue for people. But in this day and age, it's kind of like, all right, if you're gay, you're gay. If you're bi, you're bi. Like, nobody gives a fuck anymore. And so to me, I don't feel like she was hiding her sexuality in any way. I just think Diddy didn't want her to talk about it. Like, this was, a big secret. Why tell anybody what you're doing, in your private time? That's fine. I mean, whatever. But I just feel like she didn't seem to be a person that would be bothered by other people knowing that she also liked women. I mean, she didn't come off that way at all. But supposedly there's videos of her and other famous women doing several sexual acts and all of this. Come to find out that all these videos are being leaked by P. Diddy to the highest bidder. So if they put on, if he uploads a video of Rihanna being screwed by 6 dudes, he's getting 50 million for that video. Why they haven't surfaced publicly, I mean, maybe there's a disclosure they gotta go through with lawyers before they can buy the tape, or buy, the video, making it solidified that they cannot share this video, or they're going to be, sued, or whatever legal action was going to be taken. So supposedly he has these cameras in every single room of every single house he owns, and they're going 24/7. So whatever happens, it's going to be recorded. So he can sell that to the highest bidder and make 50 mil off of somebody doing something with somebody else. And majority of the people he knows are famous. So obviously, it's going to be a bunch of famous people doing God knows what, and that's a moneymaker right there. So now, I also heard, which I had mentioned in my previous video, that I was worried for his 2 daughters as to what they were being subjected to, what they were being surrounded by. Were they is he trying to involve them in this type of lifestyle like he did his sons? Is he pimping them out? I mean, what's going on? So I did some research, and supposedly on the black web, something called a black coin, okay, he offered up his 2 daughters when they became 16 to the highest bidder. And I believe the number was 500 million, okay, to be the first one to sleep with them. Now, this is completely sick and disgusting and mental, okay, for you to pimp your own children out, okay, especially females. Like, this is the whole reason Kim Porter is dead, is because she was keeping that from happening, and he had to do what he had to do in order to stay in the position he was in. So this was something that he had to do, and he was told he had to do it. And once she was aware of all of this, she wasn't letting them go there as much. She wasn't letting them interact as much as they did as kids when she was with him, one-on-one, where she could actually see what they're doing when they're not in front of her. And I believe that's a really big motive to kill her. I mean, 500 million is 500 million. You know what I mean? To him, they're going to lose their virginity anyway at some point. You might as well benefit off of it. So, whatever this dark web, dark coin thing that he sold it for 500 million, and the person had to sign, like I said, all these disclosures, all these legal documents, and then they were sent wherever this person was from, delivered basically like a package to that person, and he got that money. Okay, so in all actuality, like, yeah, he made money off of music, but it was an undercover operation for the sex trade. Okay, so I mean, shit. If you're gonna do it to your sons, I mean, what's doing it to your daughters? he's not going to see a difference in that because he has certain shit that he has to live up to on his part in order to continue living the life that he's living. But I'm like, what? I mean, who the fuck pimps out their own daughters? Like, listen, I understand, like, this goes back way, you know, like, I don't know if anybody's seen Memoirs of a Geisha, how, you know, they would give the virginity to the highest bidder, and then they would become their danna, which is, like, their sugar daddy. So it's kind of like the same thing in my head. It's like, here are these two little girls at 16, okay? And, I mean, God knows what they've seen and heard by that time. But, like, here you are delivering them with a big red bow around them to this person who paid $500 million to screw them. Like, number one, you're a fucking piece of shit. And number two, the person who who even paid the money for that is a psychopath. Like, seriously. I understand people have money and they just throw it away, but $500 million to screw two 16-year-olds, that's going a little bit off the deep end. And I just find it, like, I don't even have words for it. Honestly, I don't have words for it. Like, I could see you pimping out other people, but your own daughters, like, you really want that kind of lifestyle for them? Like, you really want that mental health issue? And, like, them living with that? Like, or maybe he made it like it was okay. Like, this is normal. You know, this is what we do. So, maybe they're okay with it. But I know damn sure that Kim Porter wouldn't have been okay with it. And I know damn sure she was the one that was stopping all of this shit from happening. Because after she died, that's when the sons and everybody got involved in all the shit he was doing. Willingly or non-willingly. You know? I don't think he really cared if somebody said yes or no. To him, the word was yes. That's all he heard. And now they're also saying that in these tunnels, he has Tupac, he has Biggie, he has several other people in their caskets down there that obviously he doesn't want anybody to ever be able to exhume these bodies and do autopsies. So I would assume that Kim Porter her actual casket would be down one of those tunnels that he's hiding, because if they exhume the body, right, and there's no body in the casket, or it's another person in the casket, man, that's gonna be something that I don't think he's prepared for. So it would make sense if he would have these people, okay, that he had a hand in their deaths under his control and in a place where only he knows they are, beside, of course, the people who were helping him do all of this, which now they're starting to come out and talk about. So now, my question is, this is the big question. If you were enabling him all these years, okay, and you were just yesing him to death all these years, right, and you were doing all this crazy shit for him all these years, why didn't you step in and be like, dude, like, you're going too far, man. Like, this is beyond. Like, you're going too far now. Did anybody fucking say it? Did anybody even bring it up? Like, listen, your daughters are only 16. Maybe, that's not something you need to do. Like, their mother wouldn't want them to live that kind of a lifestyle. They shouldn't have to. They shouldn't have to be pimped out. But see, this is the whole thing about the elites. This is what they do. They pimp out their own kids, okay? Because that's what's expected of them. And this is just the way they live. They wait till they get to a certain age and, well, somebody wants to sleep with them, whatever. I mean, you got to abide by their rules. You no longer live by your rules once you sign that document. Okay? And, it makes sense because this is what they do. This is what the elites do. They sleep with kids, okay? They're sodomizers. It doesn't matter if it's a boy or a girl. To them, it's all the same. Doesn't matter to them if you're a boy or a girl. But this is how they live. These are their rituals. This is what they do in order to keep the devil happy so that they can continue to live the lifestyle that they're living. All right? Now, my whole thing is, like I said, did anybody ever say anything? Why are they just saying this stuff now? Why didn't they say this before this shit happened? So that maybe somebody could have got saved from being in that situation. Why is everybody so eager to spill their guts now, but nobody had nothing to say 10 fucking years ago? Like, come on, man. I understand you want to help and you want to give information, but where the fuck were you while you were doing all this shit for him, okay? And then you just went home to your family and acted like nothing ever happened. Who knows if he was pimping out their kids, too? I don't know. And now there's shit out about Jada Pinkett and Will Smith, how they pimped out their son, okay? How Will Smith was sleeping with his own son, and that people who went over there would leave screaming and crying, never wanting to go near these people again, okay? So they put on a really good fucking show, too. And I'm just like, I'm taking this all in. It's like every day there's more. There's going to be tons more. So, like, I expect that. But, come on, man. Like, really? This whole world and the elite who control it and the rules and regulations and the shit these people gotta do to keep their lifestyle, I don't know if I could keep up with it. I don't know. I definitely would not be able to say, okay, here are my 16-year-old daughters, do what you want to them, and walk away. Like, that's not me. I could never do it. I can't see myself doing it. There's not enough money in the world to make me do something like that. And $500 million, you can't even spend that in a fucking lifetime. Right? Like, seriously, you can't. Especially when you have everything already. It's like, what are you doing with all this fucking money? It's not even like you could take the shit with you. You can't. So, my whole thing is like, now we're sitting here waiting for legal action to be taken into effect. I don't care if they raided his shit. I don't care about any of that. All I care about is the fact that he gets whatever he deserves, and he needs to go to fucking jail for the rest of his life. And this is all going to be based on whether or not one of the elites is going to step in to save his ass, or they're just going to let him fucking hang. My guess is they're going to let him hang, because everybody just totally fucking ran for the hills. So, but like I said, we all know Diddy, and we all know his personality, and he ain't gonna go down without bringing a few motherfuckers with him. Okay? Like, we know damn right Jay-Z is one of them. We know for sure he's one of them. Whether he be higher than him or lower than him in the totem pole, don't know, don't care, but they're doing the same exact thing. Anytime somebody got in their way or didn't do what they wanted them to do or opened their mouth about something, they disappeared. They were dead. I mean, same scenario with all of them, because this is just the way they live. It's predictable. It's something that you can't not see the patterns. And if you can't see the patterns, then I have to wonder what's wrong with you. Because it's so out there now that you can't help but see the patterns of the way these people live their lives and the things they have to do. It's impossible for you not to see that. And if you don't, you're just straight up in denial and you need help. I have to be. And then they get thrown under the bus. So all that time and all that energy you put in, okay, to become one of these elites, okay, which you will never, none of them will ever be that main elite, okay, because there's only one of them. And I guess they want to get as close as possible, so they'll do anything to do that. But in all actuality, they will never, ever, ever be anywhere near the main being that controls this whole thing. So there will always be a window of they could get fucked at any time. Okay? Because if R. Kelly got fucked, if P. Diddy's getting fucked now, okay, it's only going to be a matter of time before the rest of them start going down and getting fucked too. So, I don't know why these people want to get into this when they know they cannot be that one being that controls this entire band of elites. Like, you cannot be that person. You'll never be that person. So why even put in the time and the fucking sacrifice and the blood on your hands to get as close as possible to this person when you're never, ever, ever, ever going to be in the same room or the same vicinity as this person? Okay? And you're a target at any given time. You piss somebody off, your business could be splattered all over the fucking place. You don't do something they tell you to do, your business is going to be splattered all over the place. Do you really want to live like that? Like everyday shit. Like if I don't do this, this is going to happen. Like, how do you live a life and enjoy this money and enjoy this fame without that shit being in the back of your mind? Like, it's not even worth it. I'd rather be poor like I am, okay? And not have to worry about tomorrow these motherfuckers are gonna just put out my entire fucking business and people are gonna find out who I really am, alright? Like, no amount of money to me is it worth that kind of stress. Trust me, that kind of fucking stress on a daily basis, man. That's why the majority of people who get too high up have nervous breakdowns, they're losing their fucking minds, all this shit's going on with them because you could only take so much. You could, as a human being, you could only deal with so much at a time. And if you're constantly worried about fucking over the wrong person or saying the wrong thing or mentioning something you're not supposed to, and man, listen, I'm good. I am so good on that. Like, I have enough stress in my life than to be sitting there worrying about that shit all the time. Okay, because you can't help but not worry about that. This is the lifestyle you chose. So now you got to worry about all the shit that comes along with it. And I like how people are just starting to make videos about Whitney Houston and Michael Jackson and things I've been talking about for fucking years. Prince. I have videos on all of these people breaking down how the elite killed them, breaking down how they use them as lambs in sacrifices. Like, I have all these videos from years ago, and there's people who are just putting out videos now talking about how Whitney Houston was a sacrifice. Dude, I said that shit like fucking as soon as she died. Okay? Along with Prince and along with Michael Jackson, along with all of them. I've been saying this shit for fucking years. And everybody said I'm fucking crazy, I'm nuts, there's something wrong with me. Why? That doesn't exist, that's not real, blah, blah, blah. And now look what's happening. Now people are taking the shit that I've said, or nobody, okay, are taking the shit that I said and going fucking just ham on it, and they got all these followers, so like, of course they're gonna get more attention on the videos. Of course more people are gonna watch their videos as opposed to mine. But like shit, I'm the one who's been saying this shit for years. And now they're taking all this shit that I said and trying to make their own goddamn videos out of it. And their own commentary on it. Where were you 6 years ago? Okay? Like, where were you 7 years ago? Where were you 20 years ago? When I was telling people this shit. And I was the fucking psycho. I just, man, I could sit here and talk about this shit like for probably 2 weeks straight and not repeat myself. I just feel like maybe the world wasn't ready for this information when I first started my channel. They definitely were not ready for it in the early 90s, that's for sure. Nobody believed that shit back then. So it's like, I want to keep making videos and I want to keep you guys in the loop and try to break this down for you as best as I can. And I just don't have enough. I don't have enough followers, like, to get in the algorithm and be able to have these videos seen by more than just a few people. Like, and I'm not really savvy with YouTube. Like, I kind of just know how to record and, you know, add pictures to it and then make a video. I'm not savvy with YouTube. I don't know how to, you know, do all this fancy stuff. I don't know how to, like, I don't have a backdrop and I don't have, you know, a mic and stuff that I could set up and have my own show and talk about this stuff live, and I just don't have the access to any of it. And honestly, I feel like I'm being held back from having the access to do that because I have too much. There's too much information that I'm going to give, and they don't want that to happen. So they're keeping me in a limbo state where I can't just go buy a good microphone and a nice backdrop and set everything up and have my own shows and really have an entertaining way of bringing this information to you guys. The only way I know how is to record myself and then make a video out of it. I don't know how to do much else when it comes to YouTube. Nor do I have the money, nor do I have the people around me that do it, that can help. So I'm kind of like in a position where I want to say so much and I want to show you guys so much and I want to give you receipts to prove what I'm saying is real. But it's like, I don't know how because I'm not savvy with YouTube. Like, I know how to use social media, I know how to do all of that, but as far as getting it to the point where I'm sitting there and I have this nice backdrop and I'm showing you videos while I'm talking and breaking them down, I don't know how to do any of that. You know, I wish I did. Because this is shit that I really want people to see and understand, like physically, not just by me talking, but showing them what I'm talking about. And I have no way of doing that right now. So it's very frustrating for me. I want to be able to share this information with you guys as being as personal as possible. Being able to say this is going on and having a video on the side of me playing, showing you this shit going on. Like, I don't know how to do any of this stuff. So, like, and then there's just so much I want to say, okay? And there's so much I want to explain. And like I said, I try to keep these files in my head in order so I don't, like, go off on some kind of a tangent like I am now. But I just, if I could get into the algorithm and gain some more followers and, you know, maybe have my videos monetized where I'm making some kind of money off of it, and I can buy these things that I need to buy to make this channel what I want it to be, man, like, I would do it full time. Because believe me, I have enough information to do it as a full-time job. Okay? And there's always more coming out. So, like, there's never a drought on this information. If anything, there's always more coming out and more to know and more to see. I just want you guys to know that this is really personal to me, and I'll get into that in another video, but this subject, okay, is very personal to me. And I've been trying to tell people for years that these things have been going on, and I was the weirdo. Now that I have a platform and I have more people who are open to hearing this information, okay, and understand it now, okay, I want to be able to do this full time for you guys. I want to be able to break down shit for you as soon as it happens. You know, like how they set up Megan Stallion to bring down Tory Lanez, because Tory Lanez was getting too big for certain people. So they had to get rid of him. And the whole Laura London and G Nipsey and man, I could just go on for days. Let's just put it like that. But my main thing about this video was the fact that the casket was watched 24/7. We don't know whether her body was in there or not, okay? We don't know if anybody's seen her, okay? Because nobody's really talked about, nobody's ever mentioned it. And is she really buried where she's buried? Or does he have her casket in one of these tunnels along with other people so that if they get exhumed, there's nothing there to exhume. There's no body for them to redo an autopsy or, you know, do a toxicology report, or because these motherfuckers pay off the coroners and pay off the medical examiners and pay off all this shit. So, like, you never really get the true autopsy or the true medical examiner's report because they're being paid off. So, you can't take that as like, truth. Because they'll pay them to say whatever the fuck they want them to say. And you're not a medical examiner. You can't go there and physically look at this body and say, oh, I see this, this, and that. No, you got to just go by what you're told. But see, in this world, we can't go by what we're told, because what we're told most of the time is bullshit. So we can't go by it. You can't even go by that. You can't even go by an autopsy report. Fuck that. I'm not... You could tell me this person died from this, and that, and I'll tell you that's not how they died. That's just what they paid them to put on the fucking report. They could lie about the toxicology. They could lie about there being an injection somewhere on their bodies. They can lie about how they died or what they died from. And nobody's the wiser, because we're all sitting here thinking, well, they're the professionals, so, like, I guess that's how they died. No, it's not. And it just frustrates me that they insult our intelligence to the point where they think that we're so dumb that we sit here and we believe everything that's being said. It's really pathetic, and it's getting on my damn nerves, okay? Because I'm not stupid, and I'm not blind, and I'm very, 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 very woke. I'm very conscious of what's going on around me. So by you sitting there lying to me about somebody's fucking cause of death, you're insulting my fucking intelligence. And that pisses me off. And it should piss all of you off. Like, seriously. But I just wanted to bring up that casket thing and about the girls being pimped out on the dark web. Like, I just thought that was relevant to what I had been talking about before. And I'm definitely, obviously, going to make another video, but I wanted to just get that information out to you and see what you think. Please leave your comments, and please subscribe and like this video. Let's try to get this into the algorithm so that I can continue to do this. And I can continue to educate and wake people up that are not woke yet, or give the woke people the information that they desire instead of the bullshit that they hear. So I want to thank all of you for listening. As always, I appreciate it, and I appreciate your patience, and you guys sticking with me. Those new subscribers, I thank you so much, and I hope you share this video if you think it's worth sharing. And let's try to get this channel up and running. Let's try to get this channel on, like, you know, the main algorithm, and see what happens. I would be able to do so much more if that was the case. You know, I mean, sky's the limit when it comes to that. So, yep, just leave your comments and, you know, like this, subscribe, share it. Please don't leave any stupid-ass comments because you will be blocked. I have no time for it. I'm too old for this shit. Okay? But just know that what I say is the truth, and know that I have ways of knowing this. And I'm sharing this with you because I want to. I could keep this all to myself, but I feel like you guys are owed an explanation. You guys need to know the truth. So I'm taking the time out to do that. So, once again, I hope you appreciate it. I hope this resonated with you. If you guys have any questions or anything, please leave them below, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. And God bless us all, and stay safe.